One of the scariest places to work in samurai-ruled pre-modern Japan was an all-women's workplace. The Shogun's harem. The Ōoku was the name of the Shogun's harem. Working there as a lady-in-waiting was by far the highest paying job, so many women wanted to work there, but once you got in, and on day one, you were shown a piece of paper called the Ōoku Jochu Seishi Nanakajo.
Oh, you girl. I hope you like it here.
Get her the compliance agreement.
This is called the 7 Articles of the Oath sworn by the women of Ōoku.
Ma'am?
I have never heard of a compliance agreement with such an unsettling name. Let's go over it together. Article number 1. Strictly observe the rules below. Perform your duties with utmost sincerity and commit no underhanded activities. My father used to say, prohibitions are never written for things that never happen. Article number 2. Do not give in to temptation or be drawn to wrongdoing.
May I ask by whom?
Article number 3. Do not disclose anything concerning the Ōoku to outsiders.
I understand.
Article number 4. No political petitions or appeals shall be brought into the Ōoku. This is the biggest sin.
In the early stages of the Ōoku, there were some cases where women who were selected to share a futon with the shogun sweet-talked the shogun to give them something valuable or appoint their family to an important position. And shogun was a shogun, but shogun was also mad! So there was a risk that the shogun would be like, oh, okay, Otsuya-chan, leave the shogun! So since then, every time the shogun slept with someone, they were not alone. There was a nun lying awake all night beyond the partition to the right, and a lady-in-waiting lying awake all night beyond the partition to the left. Their job was to listen in and report to their boss next morning in meticulous detail.
Article number 5. Do not speak ill of your colleagues or engage in behavior that harms workplace relationships. There are some women who like doing this. Like me. I know you wouldn't do this. You look like an angel. Now, would you sign this and show me your thumb? What about the other 2 articles?
Needle! Ow!
Blood seal here. You can read the rest later. Get her a new kimono. You're now one of my faction. I mean, one of us.
The scariest place to work in samurai-ruled pre-modern Japan was an all-women's workplace called the Ōoku, the Shogun's harem. Why is it scary? Well, it's because any information about the Ōoku was strictly confidential, but all information about the Ōoku that leaked was suggestively terrifying! The First Lady's litter. Let's start with a relatively light one. During the Edo period, people who were highborn were not expected to do a lot of walking. They rode in litters that were carried around by men like this. Now, the shogun's wife was like the general manager of the Ōoku, and when she moved around in the castle, she didn't walk. She rode in a litter indoors, carried around by female servants who were well built. But that was not the only thing different from men's litters. The litter bearers at the front of the litter faced the litter and walked backwards. Why? Because it would be disrespectful to point their butts at the shogun's wife, the general manager. What would have happened if someone turned her butt toward you, the ghost of shogun's wife?
Would you like to try and see for yourself?
The First Lady's toilet. The shogun's wife was probably the only person who was given a space for real privacy, especially her toilet. Now, during this time, all toilets were pits dug in the ground. Every now and then, waste removers would come in and take out what's in there, but the shogun's wife's toilet was different. Whenever a new shogun's wife moved into the Ōoku, they dug a new toilet just for her. But it was not a pit. It was an abyss! They dug it so deep that the waste would never have to be removed. And when the shogun's wife passed away, they filled the hole with dirt, never checking what was inside. No matter what she chose to throw into that hole, nobody was allowed to check. You didn't have any dark secrets you threw down that toilet, Did you, the ghost of Shogun's wife, son?
Any woman has a dark secret or two. It's just that some are a little bigger than others.
Men gone missing. There were frequent fires in Edo City, and when the castle caught fire, samurai men would go in there to rescue any women left behind. But there were several incidents where men went into the Ōoku and just disappeared. Their charred bodies were never found. It says that in 1657, a samurai clanmaster called Akimoto Yasutomo bravely went into the fire in the Ōoku and vanished. Do you happen to know what might have happened to this person?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Perhaps he came a little too close to my amenities.
Don't work in the Ōoku! If you owned a female cat and had you been a member of the Shogun's harem and samurai ruled pre-modern Japan, yes, you would have been among many protagonists in power struggles, political maneuvering, and factional rivalry among elite women. Ooku was the name of the Shogun's harem, and it was where the Shogun, his wife, his concubines, his children, and all their staffs lived and worked together. And everyone except the Shogun and his underage sons were women. By the way, there's a famous manga called Ooku where the gender reverses and the harem becomes all male. This is a diagram of the main building of Edo Castle where the Shogun lived and worked. And the area in light pink was Ooku, so it was like half the building. Women from prestigious families like the daughters of regional feudal lords came to live in the Ooku, and there were some very ambitious women. Because if you conceived a son of the Shogun and he was named heir, you would become the mom of the next Shogun. AKA the most powerful human being in the land of the rising sun! Now, factionalism was real and serious in the Ōoku, especially between the Shogun's wife and his concubines. Even if they themselves didn't conceive, they didn't want to give any chance to their rivals. Because hey! So sometimes they would dispatch their own underlings to go seduce the Shogun. So if you were not affiliated to any faction, you had no chance of even seeing the Shogun. So being recognized by a powerful Ōoku authority was essential for hunting the Shogun! And this was where Neko-san came in. The official wife of the 13th Shogun, a woman called Tenshoin, had a cat named Michihime, Princess Michi. And after she passed, there was another cat called Satohime, Princess Sato. And when these Neko-sans became pregnant, the women of Ōoku rushed to preserve the kittens before they were even born! Because by adopting a kitten, they could form a kind of kinship with this powerful lady. On Neko-san's birthday, they were invited to Neko-san's birthday party. They exchanged Neko-san toys, fresh fish, and all Neko-san's favorite chewing toy! Dried bonito box! And by the time these kittens grew and conceived, the adoptive parent had secured a powerful position herself. And the seedlings for creating her own underlings were dispersed in the form of little Neko-sans, broadening her influence in the forbidden Ōoku. Neko-sans moved the heaven and earth, all the while taking a nap. Would you be interested in hearing about the biggest scandal in the history of Ōoku, the Shogun's harem? The Ōoku existed during the Samurai Road Edo period, and it was a large section of Edo Castle, which is the imperial palace near Tokyo Station today. The Shogun family needed a harem to make sure there was enough surviving offspring because child mortality was extremely high then. The Ōoku was off limits to any men except the Shogun and his most trusted vassals, and the women of Ōoku was almost never allowed to go outside the Ōoku. This was because they would be a direct threat to the regime if one of the Shogun's concubines conceived a child of a non-Shogun family bloodline. So the women of Ōoku are thought to have been very sexually frustrated. Now there was one way for them to go outside. It was to visit the graves of the Shogun's family members on behalf of them. But in 1803, the magistrate of temples and shrines, a samurai called Wakisaka Yasuda, noticed that there was one temple where the women of Ōoku kept going at a remarkable frequency. When he investigated the temple, it was found that the priest there, Nichido, 33 years old, used to be an aspiring kabuki actor, and he was an incredible ikemen! Hey, how many times do you visit your family temple in a year? I don't know, my lord. Maybe 4 times a year, max? Right? And in your report just now, How many times did you say the women of Ōoku made a proxy visit to Enmeiin temple this year? 55. 55! So Yasuda sent his retainer's sister to go pray at Enmeiin temple undercover, and this is what happened.
I see you're praying rather diligently there, ma'am. I see unease in your eyes. Ichido, an Ikemen true to his reputation. I was under the impression that priests shave off their flirtations along with their hair. A priest like me may not have hair, but I do have ears to listen to whatever keeps you up at night. What else do you have up your monastic robe?
I have secret rooms and secret passageways for privacy and emergencies.
That was something. Rumors were very true.
Arrest him!
Hey, what would you say the average body count is for men in this Edo period?
I don't know, my lord. Maybe 0 to 3, right? And in your report just now, how many women did Nichido confess to have slept with? 59! 59!
59!
Executed! So Nichido was executed after being found hiding in a secret room in the temple. Breaking the Buddhist precept of refraining from sexual misconduct was punishable by exile. But Nichido got the death penalty because it involved several known names in the Ōoku. Let's behave!